Hello, my friend. As you know, I am a big advocate for going to the gym. Lifting weights, I think it has so many benefits. It feels good to lift weights, be in the gym, builds a nice routine, etc., etc. But with all that being said, with good, there does come some bad, and unfortunately, there can be a dark side that comes with beginning your journey with lifting weights. And personally, I have seen it start to creep into my life as well, and I think it's something that is important for us to discuss as we move forward with obviously trying to improve all aspects of our life. If you've been lifting weights for a while, you may have come across a term known as muscle dysmorphia. But what actually is muscle dysmorphia? It's a subclass of body dysmorphia, which is a mental health condition where someone becomes fixated on a perceived flaw in their body. Typical forms of body dysmorphia are talked about a lot on TikTok. I've seen girls talk about how they've got body dysmorphia about maybe their boobs or their bum, etc. And so, of course, when you bring this to guys, of course, the main thing that we get concerned about is our muscles. And so, yeah, we've got a separate category just for us. Isn't that great? Now, I'm joking a little bit. Of course, muscle dysmorphia isn't exclusive to men solely. You can be a woman and have muscle dysmorphia. I'll come back to that later when we get into the studies, but just letting you know, it is more present in men. There's still debate around whether muscle dysmorphia is an eating disorder, whether it's a behavioral addiction, or whether it's even a form of OCD. But basically, people with muscle dysmorphia become so preoccupied with their appearance, they begin developing their whole life around building muscle. Doesn't that sound familiar, my boys? Some of the behaviors that are associated with this disorder kind of range from, yeah, that seems pretty normal, to, oh, we're getting into a dark territory. Lower end on the spectrum, you have excessively lifting weights and having a regimented eating routine, which you can kind of see in a lot of the videos when you're looking at how to start gymming. You see a lot of people, having their broccoli and rice needs to be had from Monday all the way to Sunday. But then you can get into the darker side of the behaviors with this disorder, which hopefully none of you are going through right now. And some of them seem counterproductive as to why you'd start going gym in the first place. So there could be an argument said for skipping social events to go and exercise. I think that there is a balance there. Of course, if you have a routine, you should probably stick to it to make sure that you can achieve the goals that you have. But again, I wouldn't want to neglect all your friends all the time just so that you can spend an extra hour in the gym. Doesn't make sense to me. But beyond that, there's a darker side where people don't want to look at themselves in the mirror. They want to avoid social situations where they might be looked at. For example, if you had to take your top off at a beach, some people with the disorder might not want to do that, which is bizarre because you're in the gym lifting, you want to make sure that you look good, right? And then all the way at the other end, you have people taking performance enhancing drugs, which of course, bro, I'm natty. I think it's pretty obvious. I'm natty, I'm not overly ripped or anything. So I'm a strong advocate against taking performance enhancing drugs, especially if you're young and you haven't even reached your potential yet. Now, it's also thought that perfectionism and low self-esteem can be some key contributors to developing this disorder. And I feel like a lot of people go to the gym to be able to help develop their self-confidence and build some self-esteem. So if you're going into it with already low self-esteem, this could be a problem for you that you're more prone to developing. Now, when I was doing research looking into this, there were a few things that jumped out at me which kind of hit a nerve, I'm not gonna lie, because it made me think, oh shit, am I kind of in this realm of things? Things like looking in the mirror and then saying, I wish my arms were bigger. That sole statement might not be enough to say, yeah, you definitely have MD. But then coupling it up with other symptoms such as, oh, I feel depressed if I miss a day of the gym, or I don't want anyone to see me without a shirt on. You're starting to build a narrative that might be fitting. So now, saying all of this, what are we supposed to do? Well, first of all, we want to look at the studies, right? But unfortunately, guys, there's not a whole lot to be got from these studies. Like I said earlier, we know that muscle dysmorphia is more common in men, but especially men that have higher body mass indexes. So already men that are going to the gym are actually more prone to having muscle dysmorphia, weirdly enough. But it kind of does make sense because you're more focused on your muscle. If you're going and training your muscles every day, you're going to be monitoring your progress, and you might not end up seeing the results that you want to see, or think that you're not growing as rapidly as you want to grow. The studies then go on to say that when it comes to the prevalence of muscle dysmorphia in our general population, it varies anywhere from 1% to 54%. So almost no one, apparently, to over half of people could have muscle dysmorphia. I've got here from a 2015 study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research that they examined the prevalence of MD in a group of 648 people with an average age of 29.5 years old who regularly lifted weights. They found that 17% of the participants were at risk of MD and 33.9% were at risk of having an eating disorder. Now, of course, this study is 7 years old. Okay, it also was of a low volume of people. 648 is not a lot, and they were all a lot older than us guys are. Now, I'm not a betting man, but if I was, that 17% taken from 2015, I would guess that in reality it's a lot higher now. So what do we do then? Because obviously, I hope you know that I'm not going to sit here and tell you, hey, stop going to the gym. Yeah, if you thought that was coming, it's not. Put it frankly, muscle dysmorphia is not good enough of a reason for us to push aside the abundance of research that has been done that shows that lifting weights and exercising regularly has immense benefits for you, for your physicality and your mentality. That being said, I don't think that we should ignore it entirely. I'd like to say that hopefully being aware of it could help us mitigate the potential downsides that the disorder brings about. For example, when we look in the mirror and we think to ourselves, my muscles aren't as big as I'd like them to be, we can remember that it does take time to build results and that it is a slow process and it's not something that we're going to get instantly. Instant gratification isn't something that should be crossing our minds. And like I said, the reason why I'm discussing it is because I think we need to bring light to it and make sure that people are aware of it. It might not impact you. There might be a friend that you have that is going through this at a more severe level. They might look at themselves and think, I hate my body, I'm going to the gym all the time, I've got these strict diets, and then you might not see them because they're just spending all their time at the gym. You're saying, bro, come, let's go and watch a movie, let's hang out, let's be social, let's enjoy life. And they're so fixated on improving their body that they begin to neglect their mental health. And there's no point having a great body if your mind is fucked. Like I say, guys, it's all about balance, okay? We need to find balance in our lives. It's important to exercise, we know that, so it should take a priority in our lives, but we also need to remember that there are other aspects of our lives that deserve our attention too. We need to be able to look after our mental health. We need to spend time with family and friends because they, I believe, take precedent over that. At the end of the day, why are you doing this? What is the end goal? Why are you trying to make your body look good? For most people, it is to be able to get a partner that they want, to be able to be attractive to the opposite sex. For me personally, it has gone beyond that as well. I want to be able to make sure that I've got a body that is fit, and when I have grandkids, I can play with them, get up, throw them around, you know, let them throw me around and no one's like, oh, be careful of Granddad Josiah. Nah, no. I'm trying to be at the peak of my physicality for as long as possible, okay? So that's it. It's been a very long video. This is the first time I've exceeded the recording limit, I think, on the video. Yeah, but we got there in the end. As your friend, I've got you. Look after yourselves, my guys. Stay safe.